Extraordinary escalation of the protests in Minnesota, the storming of a church. Now, here's how this played out as former CNN host Don Lemon joined with protesters who believed one of the pastors at a church in St. Paul had connections to ICE.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
Okay. That's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Do you think Jesus would be understanding
We're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
No
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Minnesota's Attorney General says protesters who stormed that church did not violate what's called the Federal FACE Act, but the Justice Department may not see it that way.
Another topic of conversation with three sites. My bros, we bringing you insight, hindsight, foresight. Now, we're going to hold and have court of public opinion. As you just saw that video, Don Lemon. Yeah, you catching a lemon tonight, Don. You catching lemon tonight, Don.
He got a sour face tonight.
Let me ask y'all a question. Is it justified of what's going on out here for them to storm that church and interrupt the church? What do y'all think about that?
No.
There's certain lines you shouldn't cross. People that have nothing to do with that preacher or whatever, allegedly he has something to do with ICE. But there's people that are going there for other purposes and they're interrupting everybody, not just that guy's, what he's doing. So no, absolutely not. Like there's places they could go do protests. They could protest in the street or in front of the church or whatever. But I think they went over.
They went overboard.
Yeah, they went overboard.
It's one thing to be outside and protest, give them pamphlets saying, hey, your pastor either is an ICE agent or they work with an ICE agent. But I think we get on a very slippery slope and we set a very bad precedent if every time I don't like the politics or whatever you're supporting, that I now get to come into your place of business or your house of worship and hold court.
Now, let me ask both of y'all a question.
Right.
If this wasn't a church, if it was a restaurant, if it was somewhere it was doing business somewhere else, would this be accepted?
I still don't think it's acceptable.
No.
You can't come into somebody's place of business and do it. Point blank. If you don't like the politics that this person goes with, pick it outside. Organize peacefully, assemble peacefully, talk to the people that are going in and out of the business. Give them bad Yelp reviews. Give them bad Google reviews. Write letters.
But since a lady, Renee, lost her life in Minnesota, tensions are running high.
Right.
And this is the spillover of those tensions. People are doing irrational things because they are angry and upset and they don't feel like they got justice. For anybody to go into a church service and disrupt a church, and Don Lemon, you're a lemon. And that's my opinion. Let me tell you why you're a lemon, you lemon head. Let me tell you why. You know better. And I don't think they can really bring charges. They're trying to bring some Ku Klux Klan charge on him, some civil rights charge, and I'm not feeling that.
That's wild.
That's wild. I'm not feeling that part.
Yeah.
But I understand the guy, the racial radical guy that keeps referencing Huey Newton, the revolution. Even if I die, the revolutionary will live on. He's angry. He went up there, but that was foul play. You do not go into a church and disrupt. I don't care if it was a mosque, if it was Muslim, if it was Christian, if it was Jehovah Witness. That's a place of worship. And if the preacher was ICE, you expose him in another way.
Yeah.
Now, if the preacher was ICE, just simply handing out pamphlets that have a picture of your preacher and have a picture of him in his ICE uniform.
But people are mad that somebody died and getting no justice.
Listen,
so they are taking it out. This is wild because
not to belittle a woman's death, right? I'm never gonna belittle a woman's death, but at some point, people is just grasping for straws to do something ignorant, bro. Like, not that many people knew this woman. You know what I mean? Yes, people die every day by police violence, and
This is something different, Ron.
bro.
This is something different,
People
Ron.
die every day from police violence.
This is
and
different.
this-
People don't die in front of the world.
I just don't think it's
This
appropriate.
was in front of the world, and
It's-
so emotions are running high.
I don't care. You're not busting in no church, bro.
I agree.
You don't
I
bust
agree.
in no
I'm
church,
not
bro.
defending that church movement.
Like-
You don't bust in the church. And what's the
And-
pastor
and,
name?
Yeah,
What
Shorty
is
was talking.
the pastor name
Yo,
that's
Shorty was
defending
talking.
this?
You were talking dumb. You're talking
Say
dumb.
her name, please.
Shorty's name is Nikema. Wait, no, hold on. Let me make sure I get this clown's name right, cause like
A Minnesota lawyer.
yeah,
who's
she's a
defending
Minnesota
civil
lawyer,
right- civil
but she's an ordained.
She's a civil
minister.
rights
Yeah,
lawyer.
a civil rights.
She's an
so,
ordained
let me
minister.
get it right.
Get it right. Sir.
Civil rights attorney and ordained minister Nikema Levy Armstrong, right? And she basically
Nakima Levy Armstrong.
and she was one of the people who protested the church in St. Paul on Sunday. But here's the deal: like, just because you went to seminary, just because you have degrees or you have work, you've done work in the church, it don't make you Jesus, bro.
No.
Like, you could do the wrong
She's
thing
a
for
civil
the
rights
right
attorney.
reason.
She's a
Yeah,
civil
civil
rights
rights
attorney.
Yeah, like, come on.
And you know, the fact that they, okay, I get it, the connection with the ICE and all that.
Yeah.
But the fact that they chose to do it inside the church is like choosing a soft target. They're not gonna find security guards. They didn't call cops.
Word.
You
Well,
know?
they only went there because the pastor, and you know,
Yeah.
And Don Lemon had-
if this is true, I don't know to find that there's sources to be true. Shame on you, pastor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shame on you, not off the hook too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people put faith and trust in their pastor. And I don't think these church goers are racist. I don't know. They could be, they could not be. That's not the case. You don't go into a church
I'll support
and disrupt a church where people are praying.
They're worshiping.
Okay?
Yeah, but also like, let's get to the core of the issue.
Yeah.
It's not that one pastor. Is that the fact that he
whole
wasn't doing
community.
nothing illegal becoming ICE. Like doing ICE work is not illegal.
Yeah, but if you're a pastor, that's immorally wrong. And court of public opinion. That is morally wrong.
But let's why
keep it
is that
100.
even a thing in this country? Why can
A
there be
preacher,
ICE?
a preacher cannot be ICE, my guy. Are you kidding me?
If
Somebody give me some holy water and throw it on and watch the acid. Watch them sizzle.
no.
Nah.
Come on, man.
I think it,
Clean that up. Clean that up,
the
Al.
the bigger issue is
Hold on.
we shouldn't have ICE.
Yeah.
That shouldn't even be
A
an
preacher
option.
man.
5 years ago, that wasn't an option. He
Look,
couldn't be
ICE is here. We're not
Look,
talking 5 years ago.
Look, duality. Look, one, I think I understand what you mean about a preacher man being ICE, just like I think it would be difficult for a preacher man to be a police officer. There's a certain morality, that job oversteps and has to sometimes cross that puts a difference between you and God, right? Like, you might have to pop somebody as a police officer. Somebody
As
got
an
popped
ICE,
as a nice officer. Now
I think he was aiding. But you know,
Yeah.
the church is supposed to be a place of refuge for the migrants, right? Preacher man, I don't even know his name, but y'all need to open up your doors to what's going on. That's a safe place of passage. I understand the anger coming from the public, right? Because they're getting dragged out their cars. No one is caring about them and how ICE is treating them. But now all of a sudden we care because they disrupted the church, right? So the thing I'm trying to say is we got to have compassion on both sides. We got to look at all angles of the situation.
Listen, bro. Let's do the knowledge, right? Later on in the post, my man says something to the effect of the nation really being against the church. And let's be honest, there's a certain subsect of the church that puts racial politics into everything that they do. The Ku Klux Klan's highest ranking member right now, the Grand Wizard, has changed his name to like the corporate whatever, but he's a ordained minister, right? So a lot of these churches are secretly hate groups that are grabbing people from the community and putting them in alt-rightness, right? America's not going against the church. America's going against those racist organizations, those bigoted organizations who are literally spreading the message of hate disguised with Jesus. Because Jesus went to the most downtrodden, the down bad people.
And will help everybody.
He went to lepers.
Would help everybody.
He went to lepers
If you
and healed them. He went to the outcasts of society. And what these people are doing, what Jesus did was he helped the vulnerable and empowered the vulnerable. What these people are doing is they are seeking out the vulnerable and targeting the vulnerable. You are not Jesus. You are not following Christ's teachings. You are not Christ-like.
If you guys in Minnesota, if that church, if y'all do not open your doors and fight against ICE, you need to check your spirituality.
Facts.
Because that's not God-like.
Not at all.
That's not what Jesus would do.
Not at all.
And you're in violation. And the people that protested and stormed the church, shame on you.
Facts.
Shame on you.
Facts.
We don't support that.
That's crazy.
You understand me?
Picking
You're
an easy
dead
target.
wrong.
Yeah.
You stand outside and you call that preacher pastor out, and you don't do that. Don Lemonhead, you lemon iced tea.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
You don't get a pass in that. You know better.
I think
You know better, homie. You know
Don-
better. You shouldn't have did that.
Don Lemon was dumb for being there because you're the most famous person in the
And
room.
he's trying
Don.
to disguise it. Now, my question is this, right? Should there be jail time for this? Or is this just morally wrong in the court of public opinion?
You should probably get a misdemeanor.
Oh, no, they're going to try to throw the book at these protesters.
No. I mean, they didn't. Did they break anything? Did they hurt
They know,
anybody?
they just disrupted.
Then they just
I'm
disrupt.
sure
So
there was
instead,
some-
it should be.
Now they talking about the Department of Justice to get involved. What will be the charge?
Listen, I don't. I think
Because you know they make up charges.
It's
now.
got to be disturbing the peace, man.
Disturbing the peace.
It's disturbing the peace, man. Maybe a little menacing. Because I'm sure there were some old ladies in the back, like, oh my God, what's going on? What are they? What? What's going on?
That turned my stomach seeing that. Because there was some families there holding their kids.
Yeah.
That was disgusting, man.
Word.
And you know, I'm with the fight. I'm with the get rid of the ICE movement and stand up for yourself and stick together. I am with it.
Yeah.
But that was disturbing to see. That was families that actually just was scared. And y'all know better. That was disgusting to see, man.
I think again.
That's an all-time low, man.
I think again, people sometimes they lose the plot, they lose the effect of what it could be turned into because they're just so impassioned by what they feel is right. But like, there has to be a line drawn. What if a pastor, for some reason, votes for a certain electorate, right? And that electorate does sweeping things in minority communities. And now the local Klan chapter, well, they didn't like it. And they want to talk to somebody about it. So now they peacefully, they don't come in, they don't call anybody the N-word. They peacefully come in and say, you're messing up our America. This is not the America that our forefathers fought for. And we don't like it. Yeah. We're setting a bad precedent.
We are.
We're setting a bad precedent because bad actors can take this and say, oh, well, they did it over here.
Yeah. You know what? If a white community stormed into an all-black church,
oh my God,
forget about it.
Y'all would want that white community hung somewhere.
Absolutely.
Okay? So
expeditiously.
This is
first of all, that wouldn't just end there. It would end in violence.
It would go crazy.
It
would go crazy.
But exactly. So I just see this whole thing like somebody, this occurred to somebody because it's easy to do. It's a church. They weren't gonna get any, pushback.
Yeah.
They were gonna be able to get a lot of news off it, and they were like, "Let's go for it."
I don't think this was about news, Al.
I think it was.
Nah,
No.
I think this was making a statement. You know what?
I mean, Don Lemon helped that
Don Lemonhead.
yeah,
Excuse
because
me,
if it
allegedly.
wasn't because of him, we
But
wouldn't
you
have
know,
heard this. Maybe
what?
not.
What also is dumb, and even in this whole situation, Don, you were dumb, and Miss Armstrong, Reverend
Dumb.
Armstrong,
Stupid.
you're also dumb because the majority
Stupidity.
of the protesters were classic Americans,
Right. Yeah.
and look who they focused on.
Right.
You gave them a target.
You gave them a target.
You just endangered
You
a community.
You became the protest, Don Lemon.
Yup.
You
Nakima,
became
you
the
became
protest. They're not even talking about the white guy
With the Biggie shirt.
Biggie shirt on. Take that. Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes words hypnotize me. We love Biggie. But he had that Biggie shirt on, and I said, wow.
Wow.
I was rocking with you until you stormed into the church, because he's a radical guy. He wants change. He wants to stand up against ICE. He wants the revolutionary. But I cannot rock with you with storming no church. That was dead wrong. And, that just goes to show you how the country is hurting. Because to do something like that, that's a place of hurt. The country is hurting from that ICE murder. ICE has ruined our country. Trump has ruined our country, right? He's getting richer. He's made $1.4 billion since he's been in presidency. Since, in less than a year.
And some of you geniuses actually believe that he made $1 billion by Trump has never amassed $1 billion.
Not this fast.
I don't think, period. He lied, because a lot of times in those debates, they corrected him like, Donnie, $660-something million is not $1 billion. You just handed him $1 billion. Here's the play. He's about to isolate us from the European Union. He's about to bankrupt this country, and he's going to ride off with his rich, fake oligarch family with $1.2 billion, and some of you suckers put him there.
Listen, the country's hurting. This protest that stormed in the church was coming from a place of hurt. It doesn't make it right.
Don't.
We disagree with it.
You loud and wrong.
And now it's become Don Lemonhead's problem. You understand what I'm saying?
Word.
And, they got to answer to God for that.
Word.
So any other foresight on this?
I mean, just like a Lemonhead, Don was a sucker.
Don is a sucker. I agree. Don, you're a sucker. And the lady that's defending this she's civil rights lawyer.
Get your life.
Get your mind right.
Pray. You should have prayed.
Get your mind
You should
right.
have prayed on that a little bit longer, Ma.
Yeah.
What you think, Al? Any closing words?
I mean, absolutely. The foresight is that this could come back and bite all of us in the butt, because it could be used in the opposite way, like.
So there has to be
Stoner
some
said.
type of. It has to be some type of charges and punishment for this.
Yeah, I mean,
They're gonna try to punish them.
It seems like to me like they picked an easy target. They knew what they were doing, and it's just bad planning. There's so many ways they could have protested. There's so many ways that are already being protested for what happened, and this shouldn't be one of them. The church shouldn't be one of them.
God bless America.
Mm-hmm.
3 sites.
We
We out.